A toilet in Estonia had a glass floor to show the underlying carved out rock. Whoa, that's cool, but what if a little critter pops up? What then? I'd be a little scared. A miniature Barbie spray bottle with a secret message. Goodness gracious, what does that say? I was gonna try and read it, but no, that is ancient text that belongs in a grimoire. What is this? All right, here we go. It reads something like, this is a secret message written in symbol text. You must be a genius for figuring it out. Good for you. They simply wrote this English sentence using Greek alphabet. Oh, I see. As a kid, I would have no idea what to make of that. I would think it's just like a spell. that they're hexing me. That is all I would pull from that. I found a perfect duck tomato. Oh wow. No, like right down to the beak, and this is picture perfect. At that point, it is more duck than tomato. This goat eating has an eating goat on it. And indeed it does. And on that goat is another goat eating if you look real closely, right? It's like, nested dolls, but it's eating goats. This sandwich is being advertised as having its recipe generated by AI. Truly good chicken. Recipe generated by AI. No thanks. I don't want to know what's in there. I don't want to know what's in the truly good sandwich. The truly generated sandwich. I'm not interested. Section of banned books in a Barnes and Noble. All right, let's see. Do we have reasons why they were banned? I can barely see why they would be banned, but we got a couple of them. We have I Am Jazz, Where the Wild Things Are, a kid's book about banned books, which is, fitting. Bridget Terabithia, The Witches, The Outsiders, Speak, The Hate You Give. Another book about banned books, White Page, The Feminine Mystique. So do we have reasons of why these are banned? Because I'm not super up to date on why books get banned, or why these certain books rather were banned. I would love to know why. Okay, so thankfully, a user named Already Taken, WTF, made just listed the books and why they were banned. So I Am Jazz, Julian is a Mermaid. A lot of these books were banned for LGBTQ themes, which like stuff like, transgender identity, gender nonconformity, things like that. It got banned for. Other books like Banned This Book by Alan Gratz was a story about censorship in and of itself and was challenged for including banned book themes. A little lower on the shelf, like the third and fourth shelf, Lord of the Flies was banned for being a very violent book. The Giver was a book about the themes of euthanasia and dystopian elements. Really, really interesting to see why these got banned. And most of these bans that they noted occurred in US school districts and public libraries because of parental pressure or political pressure with those themes around sexuality, race, violence, religion. Very, very, very interesting. I'm kind of fascinated that, the way books will get banned for things. It really, I feel, I don't know. I mean, seeing 1984 in there is kind of like a double take because of the whole theme of the book being very anti-authoritarian. I don't know. I feel like there's a strong political statement you could make for, not in support of the books being banned, of like a political statement you can tie to people banning books and like why they do it. And it's just so weird to me. I feel like it's the creative works like that I don't think should be banned. And obviously, just so we're clear, this isn't like this section of books. It seems really like in the Barnes and Noble. This selection of books seem to be specifically books that have been banned in the past or present, that were removed from like school curriculum or libraries. It's not like every banned book in history. And just because it's on the shelf in this Barnes and Noble does not mean that it's banned everywhere. Because I know you'll see like Where the Wild Things Are or Bridget Terabithia, and you'll be like, why is that banned? I read that. That's not banned. I just find it interesting. Even if it's like a book that was banned, like, back in the day, and then that ban was lifted, that still counts as like a banned book. It's just an interesting history lesson of like why these things were banned. And if you're more, fascinated on, banned books and like, I guess, books that have been challenged, right? There is a list of books like that. I think it's the ALA has a list of the most challenged books in 2024. And the ALA being the American Library Association. So if you're interested about banned books and the list of banned books in the States and stuff, I'm assuming it probably covers Canada too. ALA would probably be a good source for that. I'm not going to spend too much longer on that. I just find it interesting that, You could buy a book like, 1984 and then think like this got banned for this reason at some point in time. It's just fascinating to think about. And then there's that additional weight and context when you're reading. I think that's very interesting, Even though all the hair on my body is black, my mustache and beard are red. I actually have something similar. The hair on my face grows in more reddish than the hair on my head and everywhere else. I have no idea why that is. I would love an explanation. And God bless the EmKay post collectors because they included a big, beautiful, long source for me. So why do some men have red beards but not red hair? And this was a article by Benjamin Plackett. I'm not going to read this article bar for bar for bar. I'll just kind of read the most, interesting parts. Okay. If you want to read the full thing, you can, pause or find the article or something, but here it is. So there is a mutation in a gene known as MC1R, which controls the production of pigment in your hair cells, among other things like, fair skin or pain perception. And I bring that up because local anesthetic is less effective for redheads, interestingly enough. But hair color in particular is determined by two different pigments. Is it eumelanin? I'm hopefully, getting that right. Eumelanin is responsible for black tones and pheomelanin causes red ones. So people with black or dark brown hair likely only have eumelanin or it's the dominant pigment, where blondes will have less of both types of pigment than people who have dark hair or are redheads, and that leaves redheads having mostly pheomelanin. One role of the MC1R gene is to code for a protein that's called melanocortin, and melanocortin it converts red pigment into the black one. Okay. But if someone has a double mutation in the MC1R gene, the proteins aren't as effective, leading to red hair. So when someone has a red beard paired with a darker head of hair, the genetics get a little weird. And according to Nina Jablonski, a director of anthropology at Penn State University, and her research was specifically around the biology of hair hues, right? But according to Jablonski, not Jablinski, Jablonski, she said, quote, "This will almost certainly be due to the differential expression of MC1R in the follicles of beard hair versus scalp hair, resulting in the production of a different mixture of dark brown eumelanin and yellow-red pheomelanin." So in, I guess, simpler terms or layman's terms, the same gene is behaving differently in different parts of the body. And that is likely due to one mutation, a single mutation of the MC1R gene, rather than a double mutation. Maybe I'm just also a little dull. But there's one part of this article, the way it's written, I don't quite understand what they mean. But they say, when they say that, having darker hair but a redder, more reddish beard, rather, means you have a single mutation of the MC1R gene rather than a double mutation. In the article, it says, meaning that person is effectively a carrier of the redhead gene. And I don't know, does that just mean that those with one mutation are a carrier, effectively? I'm guessing that's what that means, right? The human body and the way our genetics work is so weird and fascinating. Having someone who is studying the biology of hair hues, like that's so wild that we have someone doing. It's cool. It's cool as hell. I like it. I'm into it. Received a bill for $0.00 in the mail, including a due date, and even threatening a late fee if I don't pay it by the due date. Oh no! Let's see. New balance $0, minimum payment $0, due by the 18th. And hey, if we don't get your minimum payment, you're gonna have to pay a $41 late fee, and that's how they get you. That is how they're gonna get you. And Just Pop Hammond said, I had a situation with T-Mobile years ago where they actually owed me some money. It wasn't a lot, just a few dollars. They sent me a bill for $-3 and I didn't pay. And sure enough, they charged me a late fee. Why they can do that, I don't know. So looking into the post a little bit, this just seems like, if you owe $0. This looks like a standard template thing, right? And like the late payment warning is probably just boilerplate for every bill, right? That's likely what's going on, is like they just have the late fee warning for everything, and it's just there as like stock. Even though you owe nothing, it doesn't matter. It's like it's just gonna be there no matter what. You're not actually gonna have to pay a late fee. They just have that there because it's like it's like how YouTubers can have like sections of their description and stuff already filled out. This is that for the company. Purchased item came with 4-leaf clover as a thank you. Thank you for your order. Thank you for choosing our product. As a token of our appreciation, we've included a 4-leaf clover card symbolizing luck, hope, faith and love. That's nice. That's like a little personalization touch for their business. And like they include why they send it, like what it symbolizes to them. That's sweet. I don't have a problem with that. That's fun. This house I drove past had a soft drink can collection. Is it that dude who's addicted to soda? Oh my God, I just saw it in real time. Wow. How much money in aluminum do you think they have there that they could scrap? Do you... So the things that I think about that are stupid, how much money in aluminum do they got there? This strip of film I found blowing around outside. Oh, and it's of, what are those, burgers with mustard and, no, that's cheese and ketchup. Just a strip of film of a little burger, a delicious burger, 2 of them, a delicious meal. My school has the South Vietnam flag instead of the regular Vietnam flag. Do you think they know? Do you think they're aware of that? Or are they just, you know, kind of swinging by the seat of their pants? I feel like judging by the size of the TV on the wall, they're swinging it. The way my glass broke points directly towards where it was hit. They're showing you the scene of the crime, right where the crack happened. This hotel uses old student IDs as room keys. That's fun. That's gotta be a trip. And you know what? Is he still around? Subject to conditions on the reverse side. Graduate hotels. Is that their whole gimmick? Hold on. So in 2017, Graduate Hotels launches with hotels in called Graduate Athens and Graduate Temp. And then they opened 3 new hotels in 2015 in Charlottesville, Madison, and Oxford. These hotels are, I gotta figure out where the, this is so neat. Sorry, I've never seen something like this. Their mission is to create spaces worthy of their communities, which that's cool, but also like, is their whole thing that they build? Here we go. I found their about. Inspired by the dynamic and unique college towns that we call home, Graduate by Hilton is a collection of welcoming one-of-a-kind experiences rich with, quote, local history, charm, and pop culture nostalgia. That's so fascinating to me. I'm not even like, I can't even dunk on like the idea. That's so cool. I don't know. I find that fun and thematic. I know I haven't mentioned that it's C.S. Lewis on the ID. And you know what? That's fair. I probably should mention that first, right? That's C.S. Lewis. That is a famous man, is that not? He wrote Narnia, right? However, Graduate Hotel, so they open in university towns, and each hotel, they decorate themselves to reflect the local university and incorporate their colors. So for Oxford University, it's dark blue. For Ole Miss, it's red and blue. I don't know, man. That is so cool to me. The key card now gimmick makes sense. I've never stayed at one of these, so that was lost on me. We're gonna pretend like I mentioned C.S. Lewis right at the beginning because I'm a smart guy, but that's just fun. That's a fun gimmick. I love hotels that have like a personality like that. That's sick. This house looks like a suspended shipping container. Wow. And the car's wrapped too. Is it wrapped? Hold on. Oh, it's just tarp. I thought they like had a custom wrapped car or something. No, that's just tarp. That is pretty sick, actually. I would feel a little concerned living there, but that is just what a wacky design for a house. That's fun. I found a Jack and Coke in Europe, which is twice as strong as the one in the US. Let's see, what is it? A 10% alcohol by volume? It's because they're not playing about their drinking over there. They're like, listen, we're casually drinking, they're competitively drinking. That's a different sport, man. Perfect E appeared in my lint filter. It is, wow. That is a perfect E. The most common letter in the alphabet, and now the most common letter in your lint filter. One of my matches was all potassium chlorate. Damn. Do you just throw that one in as a kindling? What do you use? What do you do with that one? I wouldn't ignite it. It feels a little scary. The swing mount is almost completely worn out. Oh yeah. No, it's been going. It's almost all that is a lifetime of fun people have been having on that swing set. That's how you know. They've been having a great time, but it's time for it to be replaced with something new because you don't want an accident to happen. Cashier added a not this time to my order. Let's see, what'd you get, man? A quarter BLT, large coffee, medium fries, and a not this time. You got one not this time, available at your local McDonald's, only at participating locations. This is the option you choose on the automated order screen to not round up for their charity. Guessing it's the same on their POS? Oh, probably. That would make sense, right? But that seems like something that you would do on your end. I don't know why that would show up on the receipt. The last inch of my eyebrow pencil was empty. Oh no. You're owed an inch eyebrow pencil. I don't know what brand this is, but you should take it up with them. They'll send you a free product, hopefully. Real fake door printed and stapled to church being renovated. Dude, they're doing the Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner bit. Someone's gonna walk right into that. Are you kidding me? They're pulling the Rick and Morty real fake doors bit. You wanna come on down to real fake doors? All the doors are real. Yeah, real fake. They're literally doing the bit. The remote of a TV at an Airbnb has a mosquito button. And where is it? Where is the mosquito button at? I'm looking. I'm looking for it. I'm missing it so far. Where's the mosquito button at, man? I see TV. I see. Oh yeah, mosquito away at the top. Nice. And that's just automated like that through the remote? Luxury. Georgia Aquarium uses RFID cups to track how many refills you have left. That's pretty sick. No free, you get a certain amount before you got to pay for more, I guess, but they got to figure out a way. Are those just, I'm guessing those are expendable, right? And they're just mass producing these. That's neat. That's real neat. My shotgun shells have flaxseed in them. Why? Why would it have flaxseed? Is there a reason for this? I'm not a gun guy. I don't like guns, so I wouldn't know if there's a reason for this to happen. Okay, so I've got a response from Yankee Doodle 896. For those wondering, using flax is fairly common in shotgun shell manufacturing. It can be beneficial in producing tighter patterns of pellets downrange and can extend the practical distance you can expect to ethically harvest critters. And other people have never heard of that. But most quote shit shells with larger pellets, we're talking a 4, a 2, a B, a double B, and a triple B, have some sort of buffer mixed in to fill the gaps. Tiny plastic pellets are common, but things like flaxseed can be a way to reduce on the microplastics, I guess. That's... I never knew that this was, something that they do, right? I guess it makes sense, right? Using the flaxseed to avoid having more plastic. And according to OP, that these shells were specifically made for waterfowl hunting. So using the flaxseed, you're probably avoiding getting more plastic in the water, which is a positive. He also mentions that the shotgun shells typically contain wadding, which is the clear plastic sticking out of the shell. A wad being a cup that carries the shot out of the barrel. The flax being the buffer, and the shotgun shell being the last thing the waterfowl feels, unfortunately. But at least it's more sustainable than plastic, right? I would hope so. I found a 6-leaf clover in the backyard. Oh, is that, two leaves more lucky than a 4-leaf? Is that extra lucky? The sink at this place is so small that the soap dispenser just lives in the sink and it's squishy. Gross. Oh, I didn't think you ended like that. Oh, they could have mounted that on the wall. What are you doing? Why is it in the sink? Oh, this B&B reminds guests to steal toiletries before they check out. Let's see. Some rules, clothes, keys. Oh, checkout list. Wallet or purses, passport, phones, chargers, laptop or tablet, toothbrush or makeup kit. Check the safe, the bedside tables. Make sure to bring the kids. Check the terrace or balcony, under the bed sheets, the closets, and steal those toiletries. It's not a B&B stay without taking them with you. Excuse me? A vomit pool in a restaurant in China. Okay. I see. This makes more sense because when you said vomit pool, I was under the impression that you meant like you go to a restaurant, you have a delicious meal, right? And you feel the need to go to the bathroom. You're on you know what? Just for extra fun, you're on a first date. You're on a first date, you go to the bathroom, right? And you walk in and there's a stench that hits you and it is just a trough. Thankfully, that's not what this is. Like, I think the phrasing vomit pool really kind of threw me off there. I'm not gonna lie. I think it really kind of disturbed me. But this seems considerate. This is like having a bidet, but it's so that way, like, also, I mean, at the same time, oh no, like look at the diagram. Sorry, I'm all over this post. This post is fascinating me. Is this common in China? Is this something that is often seen? I had to Google it, okay? And it's called a Kotzbecken, and it's a basin for people to vomit into. And while this one was in China, these are also installed in some bars and restaurants and student fraternities in German countries and Vietnam as well. The Kotzbecken is installed at waist height with handles for you to grip onto and a shower head to flush it all out. And obviously, as you would assume, these Kotzbeckens, they are becoming really associated with, the heavy drinking of student bodies. And in this Wikipedia post I'm reading, they have also been provided at supervised injection sites for drug users, which that is a totally different thing that I don't have time to get into. I have never heard of a supervised injection site. What is, sorry, I didn't know that that was a thing. I have never heard of that, but that is off topic. If you are wondering, Damien, why is this called a Kotzbecken? I'm glad you asked, dear viewer. So it's normally called a Spybecken. I probably, mispronounced that, but it comes from the German word Speien I'm hoping is Speien to spit, and Becken, which is bowl. However, in certain parts of Austria and Germany, it's known as the Kotzbecken, from kotzen, to puke. And they're nicknamed Papst or Pope because people have to bow their heads to use them. And according to this article, this post, some German-speaking regions, vomiting is known as Papsten or poping. So next time you puke, next time you're poping about after a heavy night of drinking, just know that if you were in certain parts of Austria or Germany, there'd be a place for you. How much vomit they're anticipating, God only knows, but they've built a whole toiletry for it. And I think that's preparedness at its finest.